Okay, this is the studio. Actually, applications that are developed under the studio, are called as, if any application is developed under the studio, we call that as a project here. If any application is developed under the studio, we call that as a project. Yeah, it is called as a project. So what is a project? Simply speaking, a project is nothing but a collection of items. Okay, so what we call it as a project. If an application is developed under the studio, we call that as a project. So first time when you just open the studio, for the first time, actually this is how it looks like. Just a second, all of you. Yeah, this is how it looks. This is how it looks to you. Okay, this is the studio. Yeah, guys. Actually, I'll update the notes to you. Basically, the notes just it is 2019 actually. The current version is going to be 2022. In the notes, it is printed 19, guys, all of you, but it is 2022. It is 2022 what we just done. Okay, so this is going to launch you the studio. The studio is the current version of the studio is 17. It is 17, guys. Yeah, yeah. So look at this. So this is how the screen gets launched to you initially. Oh, just a minute, all of you. Okay. So when you first time open the project, when you just first time open the project, this is how exactly you see the output. Okay, this is how exactly you just see the output. And next, all of you, watch it. Now, what you require to do is create a new project. Create a new project. You select the option, create a new project. When you select the option, create a new project. When you select the option, create a new project, you will be getting up a window like this. Create a new project. Create a new project, and this is the window what opens to you. This is the window what opens to you. Just a minute. Yeah. That's how you get it, guys. This is how you're just going to get it. Okay. Now, what you require to do, what you require to do is, here you require to choose your language first. All languages. What is your language? C#. Here, you just require to choose your platform. What platform? Windows. And here, you're required to choose what type of project you wanted to develop. What type? Console. So once you do that, immediately it filters based on that and shows you. It filters based on that and shows you. This is what it gets to you. Okay. So if you guys understand me, the point here, the first thing what you're required to do is under all languages. First, you'll be finding out what all languages. Under all languages, drop down, select the language as C#. Select your language as what? C#. Okay. Now you have all platforms option. Under all platforms, drop down. Select your language as Windows. Select your platform as Windows. And under all platforms, under all project types, select your project type as console. Okay, finally, this is what you get. Finally, this is what you will be getting up. Are you clear? Okay, so now what the next thing here? You have two console applications here. See, you have two console applications. One is console application, one is console application .NET framework. Two things. Guys, I just want to tell you one thing. I just noticed it very clearly in the classroom. By the end of the class, minimum 10 people are going out of the class. Why? Now I see 1 or 2 people. By end of the class, I could see only 90 people. Why? Are you aware of the subject? Did you become masters in the subject by listening to the first lines? I'm talking with you only. See, one thing I want to clearly tell you. If you come to the class or don't come to the class, nothing problem for me. I get my salary by end of the month. If anyone is the loser, that is you who will be the loser. Don't forget that point. If anyone is going to be a loser, that is you who are going to be the loser. Don't forget it. Okay? So don't go out of the class when the class is going on. Nothing loss for me. If you go out, nothing problem for me also. I'm telling you for your sake. Okay? You see, you have two console applications. One is, the second one is console app .NET framework. .NET framework means this is the old one. This is the old one, what we are not using it right now. What we require to really select is the first one, console app, where Linux, Mac, Windows, it's a cross-platform. See, it works on Linux, it works on Mac, it works on Windows. But .NET framework works only on Windows. But this one is a .NET Core, and nothing but this is .NET Core or .NET 5.6. This is what. Okay? Select this particular option and click on the next button. Select that option and click on the next button. So guys, okay, click on the next button. When you click on the next button, now it will ask you, what is the name of the project? What is the name of your project? Now it is just going to ask you what name you wanted to give for your particular project. Okay, specify a name you wanted to give for that. Specify a name you wanted to give for that. Any name of your choice. I will name it as first project. First project. So guys, observe it. I'm naming it as first project. Okay. Now here it will ask you the location where you want to save it. Save in our own folder here. What is our folder? C sharp 10. C sharp 10. Below that, it will ask you something called solution name. Ignore it. Ignore it. So enter the project name, enter the location. Enter the project name and enter the location. Ignore the solution name. Click on the next button. Once you click on the next button, here it will show you the list of the runtimes what we can use. See, you can build a .NET Core application, .NET Core 3.1, .NET 5, .NET 6. You can choose any of the framework you want. You can choose any of the framework you just want. Okay, so that is going to ask you for the framework version what you just wanted to choose. It will ask you for the framework version what you just wanted to choose. From that, select what, that is 6.0. Select what? 6.0, and the brackets what you find is long-term support. Long-term support. Yeah, this is what you'll be finding here. Choose that. Choose that option. Okay, now just a minute. I'll update the notes for all of you. I'll just update it. Just the screenshots are taken in the old version. I will just update and give you the latest. Okay, don't worry. Yeah, guys. You can just see, you'll be finding out, choose what? .NET 6.2. .NET 6.2. Okay now? So guys, all of you, now click on create button. Click on the create button. Create. When you click on the create button, guys, by default, the project, by default, see, this action will create a new project with a default class program, with a default class program, with a default file, or with a default item, file or item, default file or item under the project, um, project with a default for file or item with the name program.cs, and it will be as following. This action will create a new project. This action will create a new project with a default file or item, a file or item with the name program.cs. Guys, listen, program.cs is the name. And it will be as following. You'll be finding out the code like this here. You'll be finding up the code like this. You'll finding up the code like this. All of you observe. This is the code what you'll be finding up. Actually, I just wanted to tell you something here. What it is? Actually, guys, which framework did I select now? 6. .NET 6. Array, which one did I select here? .NET 6. .NET 6. When you select .NET 6, you'll be getting up this code. You'll be getting up this particular code like this. You'll see the code like this. But one more thing I want to show you. Observe it, all of you. Opening a Visual Studio. Visual Studio. Create a new project. Create a new project. One more time I'm opening here. Console application. Next. I will name it as second project. I will name it as second project. Folder is same. But here I will choose the version as 5. I will choose the version as 5 and click on the create. What is it? Did you notice the difference? Same thing only I done. But when I selected 5.0 version, when I selected 5.0, this is the code what you saw there. When I selected 6.0, this is the code what you're seeing there. Are you clearer or not? Are you alive or not? I'm asking you, are you clear? No one is responding. If you're not interested, tell me, I'll stop the class. I'll stop the class, you go to sleep, I will also stop this class and sleep. This is not the first time, this is the 10th time I asked you, are you clear, and now you're responding after I'm scolding. So what is the difference? What is the difference? Actually, this is a new feature. This is a new feature that was introduced in C# 10. This is a new feature that was introduced in C# 10 basically. C# 10. We are working on .NET. We are working on .NET 6. .NET 6 means C# 10. .NET 5 means C# 9. Listen, all of you. We are working on what we selected. .NET 6. What we selected is .NET 6. .NET 6 means, see, choose what? .NET 6 long-term support. .NET 6 means C# 10. .NET 5 means C# 9. In .NET, in C# 10, it's a new feature. Okay, listen. It is a new feature. It's a new feature in C# 10 version 10. New feature in C# 10. That is, we don't require to define a class and main method explicitly. We don't require to define a class and main method explicitly. Okay, so simply what you can just do is, only thing is simply no need this also. Alright, this is only a comment. Remove the comment. Run the code. It executes and gives you the output. Just a minute, guys. Got the output? See that? Yeah. It's a new feature in C# that we don't require to define a class or main method explicitly, end method explicitly. That is, the code we write in the file will directly execute. In the above code, first line is a comment. And the second line is a write line method, a write line statement to print output on the monitor. Okay, so guys, look at this. I wanted to write I want to change this code. Int x is equals to int dot parse console dot read line. Console dot read line. Okay, reading the appropriate value. Next, I'm writing a for loop. For int I is equals to 0, I less than or equal to 10, I plus plus. Console dot write line. Dollar x into I is equals to x into I. X into I is equals to x into I. I'm just going to execute the code, and it should prompt me that no problem. No problem yet. Let's see, got it. Console dot write. Enter a number. It printed until 100. What happens? Is it clear? It's a new feature. That was introduced in C# 10.2. Okay, it's a new feature that's implemented in C# 10.2. Main method explicitly. That is, we don't require to define a class or main method explicitly. Which means the code we write in the file will directly execute as if the code we write in a main method. As with the code we write in the main method, in a main method. In the above case, first line is a comment and the second line is a write line statement to print output on the monitor. Read the paragraph now. Read the paragraph, all of you. If you write any code, that code will be directly taken as the code in the main method and executed directly. It will take like the code in the main method and execute it directly. Again, I'm scolding you. Brainless fellows, are you alive? Why do you make me to scold you? I don't understand. Till you respond, I too want to talk. How much time you want to take? Take. Okay. So it is just going to be considered like you're written the code in the main method. It's a new feature in C# 10. In C# 10. Whereas if we create the project, by choosing the framework as what? .NET 5, choosing the framework as .NET 5 current, not 6. If you choose a .NET 5.0 current, if you choose that, then it will explicitly, then it is C# 9.0 and in this version and up to this version, defining a class and main method is mandatory to run the code. So we find code in program.cs file as below. Look, guys, are you clearer, all of you? Okay. One more thing. One more thing. In C sharp, in C sharp 10.0, there is a concept of global imports. That is, we don't require to write, we don't require to write the using statements in all the files as we done in case of Notepad. In case of Notepad, we can now we can now we can now write all the we can write all the using statements in a single file, in a single file, prefixing the keyword global, prefixing the keyword global, and use them in all the file. Use them keyword global so that they are applied to all classes. All of you read that statement. Read that statement. I'll show you. Did you understand anything? So till now, in every file, we are using the using statement. Till now, in every file, we are using the using statement. Correct? So in the latest version, what it is telling is, array, no need to write the using statement in all the places. You can write this. You can write this in one file, prefixing the word global, and then you can just consume it in all the places. Prefixing the word global, you can write this in one file, and that can be consumed in all the places. There is no necessity of writing this in all the files again and again. There is no necessity of writing this in all the files again and again. In one file, if you write, that is applicable to all. Okay, but you're required to use the keyword. What keyword? Global. We're required to use the keyword. What keyword? Global keyword. Global keyword is what you just required to use. The syntax will be like this. Syntax will be global using system. Simply tell me what we write using system. Okay, but now we can just say what? Global using system. That's it. Are you clearer? You don't write in class. Option is given here. Who asked you to write without a class? You write a class on your own. You write class only here. It has given you the option. You want to use the tag, don't use the tag is your choice. No one is restricting you. Did you catch my point? Okay, if you feel that it's not going to become object oriented, if it's not going to become object oriented now, then we'll write classes only. Option is added. See, day by day in each and every version, they're trying to simplify the things to you. Whether you want to utilize those particular features or don't utilize the features is going to be your option. There is no restriction from anywhere. It is compulsory. You need to write it in the same way. Yeah, guys. Yes. In one project, one time. That's all. In one project, one time. That's it. No need to do it in every file again and again. Okay. Yeah, these are all the new features. What I'm teaching you are all the new features what we have in the latest version of the C#. If it is 10.0, we don't have all these particular functionalities available. If you're working on the old version, we don't have all these things. If you're working on the old, you need to manually write all the things on your own. I hope you are clear. Okay. So that's important. Okay, fine. One more thing, I just want to give you a clarification here. One more thing, I just wanted to give you a clarification. What is that? Just a second, all of you. We'll create the new project with a default file, with a file, with a file or item with the name program.cs, and it will be and we find the below code in it. We find the below code in it. Action will create the project with a file or with an item, a file. Um, and the name with the name program.cs. An item or file, and the name is program.cs, which contains the below code. Okay, so this action will create the project with a file, not item here, with a file, uh, and the name is program.cf, which contains the below code in it. Okay. This is a new feature in C# 10. Fine, guys. This is a new feature in C# 10, and that's what exactly you'll be finding out in this case. Okay. All will be present. Internally, everything will be present. There'll be a class, there'll be a main method. All these are internally defined. Only thing is you don't require to do it. That's all. Any clarifications required still? Okay. Okay. So one more thing. What's it? You look at the code. You look at the code that is present here. You see there. This code is same the code like the code what you write in Notepad only. You look at the code. This code is exactly same as the code what you write in Notepad only. All of you watch it. Is it not looking as the code what we write in Notepad? All of you. But you'll find something new here. What is the new thing you'll be finding out? The new thing what you'll be finding is a namespace. I repeat, guys, the new thing what you'll be finding here is a namespace. You'll be finding a new namespace newly in this case. We don't have this namespace or anything in our older days. What is this namespace? You remember, a namespace is a logical container of types. So basically, what's a namespace? A namespace is a logical container of types. I already explained to you earlier namespaces. So by default, we are consuming the namespaces. By default, we have a namespace called system, and we are consuming the types of that system namespace. By default, we have a namespace called system, and we are consuming types of that particular namespace. Now, guys, understand my point here, what I'm trying to tell you. Actually, guys, Microsoft first created a project. And the name of the project is system. And inside of the project, they defined all the classes. What classes? Console class, convert class, string class, object class. All those classes are defined inside of it. So what is the project name? System. So the namespace name is also system, guys. The project name is system. So their namespace name is also system. Same way, now we are creating a project. What is our project name? Second project. So you understand here? So the namespace name is also second project only. Did you understand my point? So now in this project, we'll have only one class or multiple classes? In this project, we'll have only one class or multiple classes? Only one? Multiple classes, yeah. I did not ask you how many classes are there now. I'm asking you how many classes will be in the project. N number of classes. And will you create a separate project for each class? We are not going to create a separate project for each class. In this project only, we'll write all the classes. So now in this project, how many classes can be present? With multiple classes can be there. Multiple classes can be there, and all those classes will be defined for you under the same namespace. All those classes will be defined for you under the same namespace. What is the namespace name? Second project. If your project name is first project, namespace name will be first project. If your project name is second project, namespace name will be second project. Whatever name you give any name here, no problem. But whatever name you give, all the things will be within that only. All will be within that only. Okay, now? And I did not tell you how to run the code now. Guys, I did not tell you how to run this code, all of you. I just did not tell you. Oh, one more point I just need to tell you here. One more point I need to tell here. What is that is? Just a second, all of you. More thing, guys. Yeah, namespace name and project name are same. Just a second. A difference between system and namespace. Can anyone answer that question? Can anyone answer this question? What is the difference between system and namespace? There's a question from Raju. What is the difference between system and namespace? Can anyone answer this question? Raju, check out the answer. System is a namespace here. System is a namespace. Okay. And all of you, just watch this code. Just watch it. What is that? What is that is? I said you now, we have a concept of global using statements. We have a concept of global using. I don't require to import in all the places. Okay? Just a minute. By default, some namespaces are already imported for us to consume. By default, some namespaces are already imported for us to consume. In our project in BS 2022 under .NET 6.0. Within the file, first project dot global usings dot g dot cs. By default, some namespaces are already imported for us in imported for us to consume in our project created under VS 2022 choosing .NET 6.0. Choosing .NET 6.0 within the file, within so and so file, guys. That is the file. And the content of the file is as below. And the content of the file is as below. Guys, what I'm trying to tell you now, all these namespaces are already imported for you. All these namespaces are already imported for you. So now you'll be wondering, sir, if they're already imported, don't I require to import them again? No need. That is what I'm just trying to tell you. You don't require to import them again. They are already imported for you, and you just don't require to import them again. So now, every day, we just try to import a namespace and write the code now. From now onwards, we don't require to do that anymore. Every day, we try to import the namespace and write the code. From now onwards, we don't require to do that anymore. No need to import the namespace and write the code anymore. It is automatically done for you. That is automatically done, and you are not responsible for importing the things again. So by default, when you created a project under VS, the imports are automatically done. Is the point clear to all? By default, when you created the project under VS in the 2022, the imports are already performed. Wow. So I can directly consume them. That only I'm just telling you. You can directly consume them. You don't require to do them. Okay. Read this point, all of you. Just a second. Read the note, everyone. All of you read the note. These are all new features, guys. I did not tell in my previous classes. I did not tell these all the things in my previous classes. I am just demonstrating for you for the first time. Any doubts? Actually, one more thing I want to tell you guys, all of you. You cannot see this file by default. We cannot see this file by default. You can't see. As I shown you, you can't see the file. That won't be visible for you in the project. We don't see this file in the project by default. You will not see that. Okay? This file will not be visible to you by default in the project. Is anyone just checking up? You won't see the file at all. So I'm telling you, newly I'm telling you means you're telling this is in the notes or not. Newly I'm teaching you. These are all new features. I'm updating the notes also now only. All these are the new features and I'm updating the notes also now only. I will put the notes back in the drive, you can download. Okay. Yeah. By default, this file is not visible to anyone. How to see this file, I'll tell you later. How to see the file, I will tell you later for all of you. But meanwhile, this is the code automatically you find in this code, in this. So every day, what about system? No need to import. No need to import, guys. Okay, now. And what is my suggestion to you all is, what is my suggestion? What is my suggestion to you all is, if you people are confused with this coding, no sir, I'm just worried about this code, what is present here. I'm just worried about the code, what I'm seeing here. Can't I make it like a perfect code? Yeah, you can. What you do now, just change up the code, how you want it. Okay, just a minute. Before that, let me explain you how to run the code. Before that, let me explain you how to run the code. All of you understand. Before that, let me explain you how to run the code. How to run the code? Look, all of you, how to run the code. Yeah, look at this. This one I already explained you. When types are defined in Visual Studio, okay, just a minute. We'll talk about this. Read that point, all of you. To run the class, either hit Control plus F5 or go to debug menu and select the option Start without debugging, which will save, compile, and executes the program by displaying the output hello world. On the console window, because we opened a console application project. Understood all of you how to run the code? Just watch here. Just hit F5. What is that? F5. It will save, compile, execute. Just to see you got the output. You got the output, see. It opens the developer command prompt and executes the code. It opens the developer command prompt and executes the code. It is opening the developer command prompt and executing the code. Second way, how you can run the code, What happened to my mouse? Just a minute, guys, all of you. A small problem with my keyboard. Yeah, just a minute. Yeah. Second option how you can run the code is go to debug menu, and here you'll be finding start without debugging. Click on that. That also will run the code. Same thing, okay, no difference. Okay, now. And actually, yeah, you'll be finding up the particular output, you'll be finding up the code. Okay, you run the code. You just run the code, nothing to talk about it. And now, after running the code, if at all you want to close this, it opens a window like this. If at all you want to close it, click any key on the keyboard. Click any key on the keyboard. Okay, to close this, click any key on the keyboard. Again, it will bring you back to studio. Click on any key on the keyboard. It will again bring you back to the studio. Understood? Huh? Any key on the keyboard, you click it, it brings you back to the studio. Say, to close that console window, to close the console window, it will display a message, press a key to continue. So once we hit any key, it will close the window and takes you back to studio. And it will take you back to studio. Okay, now. Yeah. Okay. Are you guys clear till now? Are you guys clear till now? Say, if you are confused of writing the code without a class and main method, okay, simply delete the whole code in the file and write the below. Code. Say, if you are confused of writing the code without a class and main method, simply delete it. Simply what you'll do? Delete the whole code in the file and write the below code. Okay, now? So what you do? Delete of the code, guys. Write the code. How to write the code? Namespace. First, namespace. What is the namespace name? Project name only now? First project. Next, class program. Next, static void main. Console dot write line. Hello world. Are you clearer, guys? Just a second. That's all. No need using, no need here. From today onwards, I won't write using. Today onwards, I won't write using. But writing is a good practice. But if you're working on Visual Studio 2022 with .NET 6, no need to write the using statement again. Straight away, you can start like this: namespace first project and write up the code. Okay. So just simply, this is the code. What we're telling braces are for all lines, but before we are do that, what is that here? I did not understand. Guys, I'll upload this notes once after completing of all the things, after making up all the changes. I will upload the notes to you. You can just get the latest copy. Now, uh, yeah, I hope all of you got the clarity. If you're confused, you can do it. Okay, you can just do it. Again, same process to run the code here. Nothing to tell you newly how to run the code. The way you run the code is same only. Okay, now. Guys, one more point I want to tell you. One more point I just wanted to tell you. What is that? Look at this. We can also run the class by hitting F5. We can also run the code by hitting F5. You can use F5 and also run the code. You have another way to run the code. What is it? F5. Or clicking on the first project button in the toolbar. In the toolbar, you'll be finding up this particular button. Have you noticed anyone? Have you noticed anyone in the toolbar? You will find this particular button. By clicking on that also we can run. Click. It opens and displays the output to you. It opens and displays the output to you. Guys, actually it is showing you some message here. It is showing you some message here. I don't want to see some message. I don't want to see this message. Are showing all this nonsense. I don't want to see the message. If you don't want to see this message, follow the process. What is it? Go to Tools menu, select Options, Debugging, automatically close the console when debugging stops. I repeat again, enable, go to Tools menu, Options, go to Tools menu, Options, and in that you'll be finding an option called Debugging. Debugging, and here you'll be finding an option here, automatically close the console when debugging stops. Select that option and click OK. You won't see that message on screen. Okay, now run. Guys, run. If you run, I'm not able to see the output also. Window is closing up, see? I'm not able to see the output also. Window is closing. But Control F5 will show the output. Control F5 will show the output. See, Control F5 is showing the output. But showing a message. What message? Press any key to continue. But if I say F5, I'm not able to see the output. You recollect we have this problem in C language also. Once the output is shown, the window will close off. That's why in the last line we say get.ch. In the last line we write get.ch of the program. Remember? Same way here also write console.readline. Console.readline, yeah, just to stop the window close. Console.readline, F5. Just hit F5, guys. You'll see the output only. You don't see any other message on screen. Are you clear? You will not see the message, press any key to continue also. You will not see the message, press any key to continue also. Simply my output only will be visible. Simply my output only will be visible. You can read it, all of you. Read this, all of you. Read the paragraph. I'll upload you this now. Try, all of you. I will upload you this now. Try working with a studio. Okay, na? Just now upload you and put it up. Yeah, we'll discuss. We'll continue tomorrow. Bye, guys. Have a nice day. We'll meet tomorrow.
Recording stopped.